is my darling husband, Nicholas. He had cancer in his face.
Specifically basal cell carcinoma, which is a relatively treatable skin cancer. However, when not taken care of quickly enough, it can metastasize, which is only in 2% of all cases around the world. 2% where it'll metastasize to it. So if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly. So it metastasized its happy little ass into my bone and into my orbital socket, into my globe, my tear duct, my sinuses. And so we tried to chemo it, and that did not work. So
they did surgery, and they ripped all of it out.
It is called a full excavation.
And they took a chunk, which they call a free flap of muscle and skin from his juicy thigh. It is juicy.
It is juicy.
We've got this wound here, nice little scar, and they placed it into his face. That's why it's whiter, because he didn't tan his thigh beforehand.
And I known that they were going to do the thigh thing, I would have had my ass out there in a thong, getting it all tanned up. Well, not too tanned, because I just would have been more basal cell carcinoma. That doesn't sound real good, does it?
So, wear sunblock.
Wear it as a public service announcement for all of you.
All right, let's see what's going on here. Looks like we're dealing with a standard ingrown hair.
Oh my God.
Much worse than I expected. Of course, we're going to have to -1 for no gloves. And then minus another one for grabbing it with your fingertips. This one is actually much more impressive than I expected.
This is something I should have put together. Travis Sweat. Oh my.
8 out of 10 because you got the whole thing out. According to sources, Post Malone fell through a trap door, injuring several ribs. Rib fractures can be super dangerous because they can puncture the lungs and damage other organs like the spleen. If 3 or more ribs are fractured, it requires hospitalization. It's absolutely insane that he got up and finished the show.
Tana wins. Flawless victory.
People with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome have very stretchy skin and hypermobile joints, but this is the most extreme I've ever seen.
Do basically is I just kind of get a grip on your finger, okay, and then I apply some back pressure, okay, and I just, am I hurting you yet? Okay, good. All right, so let's see here. All right. You got that on video?
Yeah, I did.
This right here is a pilar cyst.
Oh, it's gonna come back.
That was clean. All right, let's see what's going on here. Looks like we're dealing with an ingrown hair, and you can see all that pus filling up in that bump over the ingrown hair. By the way, if something is filled with pus, it's purulent, not pussy. I have a lot of questions about what body part this is being performed on, and I'm even more frustrated by how long it's taking to get this out. Just pull it out. Finally! Alright, let's see what's going on here. Looks like we're dealing with a splinter, and of course you want to remove these right away, otherwise the foot can get infected. This is more than a splinter, it looks more like a twig.
I
This is how you shave your thoughts off. Now that's just a clear gel. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Immediately no. He's using his bare hands to pick pus directly out of this abscess. This is already infected with pus and bacteria, and all that redness is inflammation. I would not introduce new bacteria. That rag looks filthy. That's dirtier than what I use to clean my toilets. See, touching this and using that rag is just introducing new bacteria into the wound, and all that redness is inflammation, which is spreading rapidly and is going to lead to cellulitis. Alright, so this does need to be drained, but it needs to be drained by a doctor, and he does need to be on antibiotics. We have no idea what infection is causing this unless we culture it. It could easily be MRSA, which is resistant to many antibiotics. This is one of the worst ones I've seen in a long time. -100. Let's review this miracle product. Wrinkles disappeared. Necklines gone. Age spots fake. This right here is a pore spatula, and look at all that gunk that is coming out of the pores. This is something that can be done by an esthetician, and it's actually one of the ways I like removing these sebaceous filaments. But unfortunately, there's a hole in his glove, so -100. This is PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. They take out your blood, spin it down, pull off the growth factors, and then re-inject them into the scalp. It's a pretty effective treatment for hair loss, about 50-50, but I look at it as more of a supplement for your other hair loss program, so it's almost like a fertilizer for your other treatments. All right, let's see what's going on here. I woke up to a bunch of tags on this video. This is comedonal acne, which is your blackheads and your whiteheads, which is different than your inflammatory acne, which is your red bumps, or your nodular cystic acne, which is those deep, hard, painful bumps that lead to scarring. And because it's comedonal acne, you're going to treat it slightly differently. Poking a hole in the top of these can make these extractions a little bit easier too. One of the best ingredients for comedonal acne is a retinoid. Over the counter, the best one is adapalene. Another great ingredient is salicylic acid, which you can find in your facial cleansers or in a leave-on product like the Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. Nine out of 10. This is a keloid from a piercing, and trying to tie it off is one of the worst things that you can do. I've actually seen someone try this, and it actually died while it was still attached to the skin, and then the entire ear got infected and they ended up having to go to the emergency room. I know some people do this with some success, but if it goes wrong, it gets a lot worse and a lot more expensive for you. Don't do this, 0 out of 10.